Alright guys, I have four post-narrated UU battles that I had, and these are all in chronological order. It's been a long time since I uploaded. This battle's about a month old. I have another battle against the same guy, but I didn't know it was the same guy, and this is about 3 weeks old, 2 weeks old. This one's about a week old, and this one is yesterday. So let's just get it in. Here we go. This team has a Swords Dance Virizion, same as anything. All this team is standard, except Jan Mega. I changed that out. I couldn't find a good six member. In this one, I have a Special Victini and a Scarf Shao Reckless. This team is the same, and then for this one, I have a Focus as Zoroark. I couldn't figure out what I wanted for my sixth team, which is why I like Jan Mega. I went from Jan Mega to Main Shao to Zoroark, and this is a Scarf Victini and everything. So yeah, let's just get right into it. So these guys are all on the ladder, and these guys are pretty good. So I'm gonna go for the Mega. He leads off with Swampert. I thought the Giga Drain was so obvious, so he switched into his Roserade, so I went for the Air Slash. But no, he stays in, gets his rocks up. That was a good play on his part. Now I go for the Giga Drain to get some HP back, because the Giga Drain will take out Swampert because I am modest Life Orb. So yeah, take out his rocks, which is great. What was Rock Setter Upper? So now I go for the Protect as he goes into his Needle King, and thinking that I could take any hit, I do go into my Victini because he's going for the Ice Beam. There's no way he's gonna go for the Earth Power, predicting that. Now you turn out. Looking at the damage, I know that's Scarf damage, the Timid Scarf, because Life Orb Sheer Force would do about 25% to my Victini. So now he goes into his Roserade as I U-turn out, predicting the switch. I go for the sub, thinking he's going for the Sleep Powder. Instead, he just goes for the aggressive play, goes right for the Sludge Bomb. That's fine with me. I do go for the Calm Mind, which is a bad move on my part because he does have a Scarf Needle King. I did know that, and Earth Power will probably take me out from that range. So now I'm going to go with my Clay Doll. He goes for the Earth Power. He's not going to mess around, go for the Ice Beam because you don't mess around with threats. So now I know the switch to Chandelure is too obvious, so I go for the Stealth Rock, so he does that. I'm especially defensive Clay Doll, so I know even if he's modest to his specs, I can take one Shadow Ball and then retaliate with an Earthquake, and after Life Orb damage, substitute, and yeah, an Earthquake will be like a 90% chance of the OHKO. So now he goes to his Roserade. I decide to leave my Clay Doll in his fodder, or maybe he'll go for the Sleep Powder, but he does neither, so I go for the Spin. So here, I believe I go into my Victini, and here, right here, what I should have done is go for the Zen Headbutt, because it would have taken out his Roserade, and if we were switched out, it would 2-hit kill everything on his team. So I made a bad play by going to V-Create, because now I only get one switch in, and he's going to force me out with this Raikou, which I don't know at this time what it is. So I go to my own Raikou, and it turns out he's the Substitute Calm Mind set, and every time I have a Raikou, and I plan to sweep with Raikou, I always end up in these Calm Mind wars, whether it's between Meloetta and Raikou, or like Cresselia and Raikou, or Raikou and Raikou itself. So I go for the sub, he calms mines up, I'm just going to skip. We don't start attacking until we get to like +4, or +6 rather. He goes for the HP, Ice or Grass, doesn't matter. I go for the Calm Mind on my own. So now I believe I go for one more Calm Mind just to, be on par with him, as he does go for the hidden power of his own. Does like 22%, we got absolute min damage, which is whatever. I go for the HP Ice of my own, which takes out a sub. It looks like he's hoping for a para. He goes for the Thunderbolt, I'm just going to skip, because it's the same thing over and over again. It's really boring. But he wins the speed tie, okay, and then he wins the next speed tie. So 50-50 chance, 50-50 chance, and he got both of them, so it's whatever. So I was upset about that. So I go to my Victini, and right again, I'm pretty sure I go for the Zen Headbutt. Yeah, because nothing on his team can take two of them. Heracross is O-code after rocks 100% of the time if it's no bulk. I go into Needle King. I get an extremely low damage roll, but I get the flinch. That's justice for winning two speed ties in a row. And then now he goes into his Raikou, and as long as I don't miss, I will take it out. But honestly, that miss with Needle King didn't matter because if he were to take me out, I could easily, if he goes for the Earth Power, I could go into my Yanmega. If it goes for the Sludge Wave, I can go to my Suicune, chilling at full, take it out, and then Yanmega and Virizion both like cover each other weaknesses pretty well, besides Ice Beam, but Virizion can take it. So yeah, I'm not too concerned about that. So that was a good first battle. Now this is another battle. This is a Special Victini and a Scarf Main Shell Reckless. Same everything else. I did not know I battled this guy before, so it was like battling a new player, because like I said, this is 2 weeks after, and I didn't really pay attention because yeah, because if I save replays, I don't look them up because I plan to look them up later. So yeah, it's not like I'm cheating or anything. Just getting water. All right. So he leads with Swampert. I lead with my Special Victini. Go for the Grass Knot. I'm timid. I am Life Orb though. It will OHKO any physically defensive Swampert. He goes into Chandelure. I did not know at the time that he is sub-split, so I go into my Suicune to gauge whether he's Specs or Scarfed. Turns out that he is that looks like modest life orb damage. So I roar him out because I don't want to any shenanigans or like that. He goes into his Raikou. I roar him out into his Raikou. Goes for the T-Bolt. No need to overpredict. So I do go for the Stealth Rocks because he does not have his spinner, which is great for me, and I want his Nidoqueen and Chandelure to be hampered down. He misses a Mega Horn, but if he didn't want to miss, he'd go for the close combat, predicting the switch. He does hit the second one. He turns out to be banded. Now I am just gonna go for the Scald because I know he's gonna predict the switch to Claydol. I just want to get a burn or something like that on him, or I want to prevent him from getting up a free sub. So now I switch out into my Claydol, predicting the Thunderbolt. And then now I believe I do just switch. No. I stay in to take it because he is timid. I want to see if he's timid or if he's like modest or something. I go for the EQ, does a nice 75%. And so now Claydol is just chilling here at 60%, which is great. Go for the EQ, no reason not to. He does go into his Heracross, but I have Death Fodder in the form of Suicune. And if he goes for the CC, I have things to resist it. So he does choose to go for the Mega Horn, and now I go into my Victini, and nothing on this team does want to take a Shy Shock to the face. He goes into a Chandelure, predicting the Blue Flare or the Fire Blast or whatever, but no, I just go for the Side Shock, safe play. So now he goes into his Nidoking, and at the time, I did not know he was Scarfed. He makes a good play, goes for the Ice Beam, predicting me to switch out to my Claydol to dodge the Earth Power. Does 47%, but at this point, I actually didn't know he was Scarfed because I thought modest Nidoking only does like 52% with Ice Beam, so I thought that was just timid damage. So now I scare him out with my Victini. I go for the Side Shock, and here he predicts my switch again. I was thinking because I switched out the first time he wouldn't predict me to switch out the second time, but no, he makes a good play, goes for the Sludge Wave. But because Verzan does have nice special bulk, I do take it, and that is when I finally figured out that he is Scarf, so that's upsetting for me. So now I bring it in, I go for the Side Shock, and now the third time I'm thinking, okay, I switched out both times, so maybe he'll think I'll switch out again. But of course, he makes the right prediction. Third time's a charm. Earth Powers me. So Nidokings came in, make 3 excellent plays. So now Raikou has like a 37% chance to get KO'd, but of course he gets it. So I was very upset. I thought I lost the battle, but nope. Main Chat loses a 4% because he is timid and he is Choice Scarf and not Life Orb. It's not going to take me out. And so now, as long as I hit the second one, I will win the game. And luckily, I do. That like never happens. So yeah, that was a really close battle, and it was not until after. It wasn't until I looked at the replays that I figured out that it's some guy I played twice. So this is a guy iBanksky. He's really cool. He has a channel. I'll link you guys to it. But he mostly does Call of Duty. But let's get it. Same team. Leads off with Scyther. He goes straight for the U-turn, so that tells me that that damage does not look like banded damage. It looked like scarf damage. So yeah, I go for the Grass, not knowing it's gonna go into Rapier, predicting the Fire type move to either go into his Rapier or his Blastoise, so take out his Stealth Rocket, which is great. He goes for the Swords Dance. I didn't know if this was the Baton Pass set, so I just go straight for the Roar, thinking he'd switch it onto Baton Pass out into his Victini or Snorlax. I roar him out into his Victini. He U-turns. That damage does show me that he's banded. Claydol isn't going to be doing anything, and I only need Claydol as a spinner because Hazard's not going to help me that much because his Victini is banded, and a banded Victini is rather easy to play around with my team. But he gets a crit with the Bolt Strike, which may or may not have mattered, but it doesn't matter. So I go for the Swords Dance, and if I hit the Stone Edge, I pretty much have the game. Or it makes up for the crit. And I do hit it, which is great. So now he goes into his Tangrowth. I do not know what kind of Tangrowth this is. I go straight for the CC. I know he cannot touch me because I do carry the Lumberry, and if he's physically defensive, he'll get two hit KO'd by close combat. Turns out he hits a Sleep Powder. That's fine. I had the Lumberry. I go for the CC. So now he goes to the Victini. I know the V-Crate is super obvious, so I am going to go stay in and go for the Stone Edge. Wait, no, it didn't matter, but I missed, and I was very upset about that. So now I go for the Leaf Blade, because if I hit, Victini would have been dead, and things would have been way easier. So now he goes into his Blastoise. It's fine, though. So I'm going to go straight into my Victini. I am just going to go for the Psyshock, just in case he decides to switch into his Blastoise to take down the Grass Knot, because, you know, Snorlax is bulky as hell. So I'm gonna I go for the Blue Flare, because I need damage on that, because I will be able to win with Start Main Chow. So now I go for the Psyshock right here. And it does a nice 44% to Snorlax. I think that's totally invested in special defense. So now I go for the high jump kick. As long as I don't miss, I will win the game. I hit it, and he goes into his Victini. If I hit this one, I will definitely win the game, because otherwise he could just spam Zen Headbutt. Instead, he decides to opt for the V-Create, as I do hit the high jump kick. So now Raikou would definitely be able to clean up. So yeah, that was good. And this is a battle I got from my boy, that Super Noob. He's really good at the game. Um, this is the second time we battled, and he's really cool. And this is probably gonna be the last battle you guys see from him because we decided that because we're both like pretty up on the ladder or pretty good rather, and we both know each other's teams that it's really like hard to play against each other because we don't know whether to predict each other like a regular player or like to over predict or everything. So we decided to just like team up and not battle each other. So but we might get some unrated battles from time to time. So this team has a Focus Sash Zoroark and a Scarf Victini. Focus Sash Zoroark is supposed to bluff the special Victini set with Grass Knot and such, take out lead Swamperts, but that Super Noob's too good. So let's get it in. He leads with Darmanitan, U-turns out, brings me down to my Sash, so I'm very upset about that. I go for the Grass Knot, does a nice 21% to a Snorlax. I know this is banded. Focus Blast will be easy, like an easy 2-hit KO, after rocks. So I go for the Focus Blast. Luckily I hit. Now I go for the Stone Edge, predicting his Crobat to come in. That was a hard play because I didn't know whether to do Leaf Blade to predict his slow Blastoise or not. So yeah, I got a crit, but it's more apt to crit than miss, as Blame Truth. It's more apt to miss than crit, as Blame Truth would say. So I didn't really care about that. So he goes into his Darmanitan. I know the Flare Blitz is too obvious, so he turns out as I do go for the Leaf Blade, do a nice 46% to his Blastoise. And then now, I was thinking he's good or something, and we'll go for the Flare Blitz, but he doesn't. He goes for the U-turn, and now his Roserade is going to do work to my team. So I am just going to go to a Claydol, predicting the Sleep Powder or the Leaf Storm. Or the Sludge Bomb, because I know that he's going to think that I go into Victini predicting the Leaf, like the Grass type move, so that's why I went into Claydol to resist it. And I was thinking, maybe he won't hit Sleep Powders, 75% chance, but whatever. So he goes for the Leaf Storm, puts me to sleep and whatever. My Victini does an almost half, which is ridiculous. And then now I go for the U-turn, because this is my Scarf Victini. Then I go into my Verzion, and I am just going to go straight for the Leaf Blade just in case he decides to go into his Golurk. Doesn't matter to me. So now I switch back into my Claydol, and a Jolly Scarf Flare Blitz will not take me out, which is great because now I have switch initiative. He switches into his Roserade, predicting me to switch into Suicune to save Claydol as Death Fodder, which is an excellent move. So now my Claydol is useful now. He should right there. He really should have gone for the Sludge Bomb, but it's whatever. So now I go into Victini, and at this point I pretty much I know if I play very well, I will get the game. I will win the game. So I go for the V Create because I know Darmanitan it takes about 50% from V Create, and Golurk will get 2-hit KO'd, and Roger will get 2-hit KO'd. So Golurk goes down. He doesn't protect. No need to. He goes into his. I go into my Verzion, protecting the Sludge Bomb. I'm just sacking it really, and then now I go into my Victini, and I do believe I just go for the V Create. Really should have gone for the Zen Headbutt, but it doesn't matter. So now he goes into his Darmanitan, and he's going to go straight for the Flare Blitz. Takes me right out. And unless he gets like a super crit and he's Choice Banded with Life Orb, he won't take me out. So yeah, that was good game, Dad Super Noob. And yeah, I'll catch you guys later.